Hi, how are you doing? My name is Darryl Singleton. I'm Associate Director of Bands here at TxSU University, and I'm also the Percussion Director for Funk Train, which is our drum line here in the Ocean to Soul, the most exciting band on the planet. And so we're going to be bringing a series of just tips and things like that that might be helpful for those people that are logging on to our website. So one of the first things that we're going to talk about, or that I'm going to talk about, is what our basic snare drum technique is, because there's a lot of styles in different places, and just to give you a little bit of things that you might want to work on if you're trying to be on our drum line, and specifically in this case on the snare drum line. The first thing is this, that you want to make sure that your form, that you start practicing your form, and basically here the sticks are going to be at about a 90-degree angle. Okay, as you can see, if they were perpendicular, they're going to be perpendicular to each other, but of course on this type of plane. Okay, and another thing that you want to make sure of is that your sticks are as close together as possible. Now, it's because of the types of things that we play, you're really not going to be able to play with the beads in the exact same place, but what you can do is, let me put it over here so you can hear it just a little bit better. What you can do is put them within an inch or so of each other, and you want to make sure that they maintain that. What you don't want is this, you don't want this, or any other kinds of variations. What you really want to work on is to get the beads side by side and play in that manner. As far as another variation that you see a lot of times has to do with the right hand, the way the right hand is held. What you don't want to do here, for the way that we play, is you don't want to have this wrist bent. It's an unnatural thing. I'm assuming you don't walk around with your hand like that. If you just kind of put your hand the way that it normally would be, and if you think of bouncing a basketball, that's basically the same motion that we use when we're playing snare drum. A little check that you can check is that you want to make sure that there's a 45-degree angle on the back side of your hand, between your hand and the stick. So it's just geometric. If this is a 90-degree angle and your arm is going straight out from your body, then that's going to cause this to be a 45-degree angle on this side. All right, and you want to see a little bit of drumstick right there, because if you don't see any drumstick, a couple of things are happening. One, it means that you don't have the 90-degree angle between the drumsticks that you need to have. Another thing is that you're not going to be able to get a fluid motion like this. Contrary, well, I won't say contrary, I'll just put it like this. A lot of times we're taught, well, you need to play with your wrist as opposed to playing with your arms, and that is absolutely correct. You don't want to play with your arms. You don't want to play like that. But the other thing is this, you don't want to only move just the stick along with your entire hand like that either, because what that does is going to slow you down. You always want to use the smallest muscle group available, and the smallest muscle group in the case of your hands is actually your fingers. So you're going to be playing like this, okay, as opposed to like this. Now, that doesn't mean that we're kind of playing loose or anything like that. No, we're playing very controlled. But even still, if I'm going to go at it from this angle, if you look at my right hand, you'll be able to see that the stick is moving in my hand. It's not just moving like that. Okay? And where that starts to come into play is when you want your drum line to be clean, I can measure how much the stick weighs, I can measure how high my stick goes, I can measure the tension of the drum head. Of course, this isn't a drum head, but I can measure the tension of the drum head. What I can't measure is how much tension you're putting into your wrist. You know, if I say, well, squeeze just a little bit, or one person that's, you know, maybe stronger than another, or bigger or whatever, they might squeeze a little different or might have a little bit of different tension. But if everybody's playing relaxed and we all play well, and we all, and, you know, as far as the same technique is what I mean when I say play well. You know, if we're going, you know, if we're, this is the stick height, 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 and we're all playing on the same angle, then we're gonna have a better shot at being clean. So that's really all I'm going to talk about today, is just the idea that you want to make sure you have a 90-degree angle here, that you're not in any of these type of variations. You don't want any of that. A 90-degree angle here. The arms are going to be coming straight out from the from your body, and your arms are going to be parallel as well. They're not towards each other. They're not in like that. And you want to see this 45-degree angle over here, and you also want to make sure that your fingers stay in contact with the stick, but they're not restricting the stick's movement. Okay, so that's basically what you get. We hope you'll come back for some more tips, hear from the Ocean of Soul, the most exciting band on the planet. Thank you and have a blessed day.